Hey, it's Jonas from Troyer's RV Rental. I'm in my 2020 Jayco Alante 26X motorhome, and my large slide quit working. One time before, somebody rented it and had trouble that it wouldn't come in. I think it was out and it wouldn't come in. They finally got it to work. I was troubleshooting this. I even called a dealer that sells the Jayco motorhomes, and he told me there's a manual override, on the motor. You can crank it with a crank or a drill or whatever, but he didn't even know where the motor was. And it took me about an hour to find the motor in this thing. It is right underneath the first seat from the sofa. Right underneath here, you need to take this panel off from the inside, remove the screws along the side there, and take this panel off, and it's right underneath here. That's where the motor is and the gears and everything. So finally figured that out, and there's two battery connectors on the wires right by the motor. And so I put my battery tester onto those wires, and I had only like 3 volts. And I was like, wait a minute, that's probably why it's not working. So I had my wife hold the button or the switch on the control panel, and back here by all my wires underneath the bed, there's a solenoid, or a relay, I mean. It's right here, this one right here. It's a double with two fuses on top, actually. This big plug is what controls the slide motor there. I heard that click, and so I was messing with those wires, put my tester on the red and the black that leave the wire jumble here, and I had 12.8 volts. And then I realized this top. So first thing I had done when it wasn't working, I checked the fuses, of course. And the fuses were fine. The rear slide was working. I swapped the rear and the front slide fuses around because they were the same size. And the rear one still worked. So I knew it wasn't the fuses. So I noticed these plugs, one of them was slightly out, like not fully plugged in. So I plugged that in, and I went back again and retested the wires coming to the motor, and I had 12.8 volts, 12.7 volts. Plugged the connectors back together, and now it's working. So I'm almost certain this was my problem. This was sticking out a little bit. It's basically a connector. And so I checked all of these and made sure they're all plugged in properly. That's the back side of the fuse panel. And now it's working. But I decided I need to make this video. Might help somebody else out. Check those wires. These are your relays for your slide motors, or for the big one anyway. And your motor is under that seat, and it's not easy to get to. You only have about this much space to get your hand underneath to work on the wires of the motor. And obviously, if the slide is in, it's even further, it's way back in. But if it's almost out, it's not far underneath. So hopefully that helps one of you guys. Thanks for watching. And I am not an RV tech. I just work on my own RVs as much as I can, and I figured this one out.